In June of 1775, the Continental Congress created a unified army out of the revolutionary forces encamped around Boston and New York, and named after the great George Washington, Commander-in-Chief. The Continental Army suffered a bitter winter of Valley Forge, found glory across the waters of the Delaware, and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our army manned the airport. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. It did everything it had to do. And at Fort McHenry, under the rocket's red glare, it had nothing but victory.
It's almost astonishing people see this man and think, you know what? He's got my vote. He will never not have my vote. No matter how unfit he may be, no matter how embarrassing he is in his speeches, he's got my vote. It's no wonder they want to stupefy America by destroying our education system. Meanwhile,
the president made a very good point in his speech the other night. If only the British had held on to the airports. The whole thing might have gone differently.
Rolling Stones frontman Mick Jagger has an axe to grind with the former president and is not shy about sharing his feelings on the man.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated. Thank you very much. I've just received a call from Secretary Clinton.
Though after Donald Trump won the presidency in 2016, there was a more laid-back approach, failing to envision just how treacherous of a decision the electorate had made through a flawed system, the Electoral College.
Really?
Everyone outside the US is mystified, I'd say. That's the polite word. I could say a lot, but this isn't really the place because I can't get into a really good discussion about it. I don't want to say, superficial and flip things.
Jagger would not be alone in his surprise.
Quite mind-blowing from watching from England as well, because we were all shocked and stunned with the Brexit thing, and so I thought nothing's going to shock me now. For all I know, Trump's going to get in. Sure enough, he did. And it was like...
Ronnie Wood, fellow member of the Rolling Stones, gave his initial take on the surprising twist in American politics that led us on a downward spiral. As we have seen throughout the years, Donald Trump and his campaign remain unmoved when the proud pro-insurrectionist Prez will use their songs throughout his rallies. For the Stones, much like, Adele, Jack White, Celine Dion, Beyonce, the family of Isaac Hayes, the Foo Fighters, Sinead O'Connor's estate, ABBA, the Village People, the estate of Tom Petty, Phil Collins, Aerosmith, Steven Tyler, R.E.M., Rihanna, and more.
The Rolling Stones telling him to stop using their songs immediately. He's been walking out to You Can't Always Get What You Want and Start Me Up at his campaign events. The Stones now joining other groups, including Adele, Aerosmith, Steven Tyler, who've been asking him to stop.
He refuses to heed their calls over and over again. It's a pathetic showing upon many from the ex-commander-in-chief. They would go on to release this statement. The Rolling Stones have never given permission to the Trump campaign to use their songs and have requested that they cease all use immediately. It wouldn't just be Trump, however.
Because the woke represents a war on truth, we have no other recourse but to wage a war on woke. We fight the woke in the schools. We fight the woke in the legislature. We fight the woke in the corporations. We will never, ever surrender to the woke mob. Florida is where woke goes to die.
Jagger was set his sights on this man, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis.
If you look around the country, they do have programs, unfortunately, well, they will take a student, look at their race, say, okay, you're white, you're an oppressor. If you're black, you're oppressed. And think about what that does to a 6 or 7 year old kid. That's wrong. You're seeing that. You have people that are teaching, and actually his running mate has said this in the past, that teaching the United States was built on stolen land. That is inappropriate for our schools. It's not true.
The man who claims colonizers did not steal land from Native Americans.
These people, these Democrats who are trying to use this as some type of political issue to try to smear me.
Or his war on Disney, which resulted in this.
White power. White power. You're live. 6 million viewers.
Well, the Stones frontman would have his say at a concert in DeSantis' home state. Quote, "We have some great local celebrities that have come tonight. Tiger Woods is here, for instance. Joey Fatone is here, and Ron DeSantis is up there in the suite. He's having a date night with Mickey Mouse. I'm so glad they finally made up." A brilliant zinger.
It's a bigger question. This is a bigger problem for collegiate sports nationally and in Louisiana. I just sent out a letter to each one of our college boards telling them that those college boards should put in place a policy that respects the national anthem. The national anthem is as much a part of American sports as is the actual game that's being played. And the fact that there is not a policy that says, listen, these players are going to be out there and respect the flag and respect those that go out there and protect us is really disrespectful in and of itself.
Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, a man who has raised over $1.2 million in just the 2022 election cycle alone, plays into the culture wars. Remember, this is the same man who believes in free speech and the First Amendment, yet wants to cancel athletes who take a knee. Jagger, of course, would call out the governor in his home state as well. When performing at the New Orleans Jazz Festival, Mick said to the crowd, quote, "We're an inclusive group. We would like to include everyone. The governor is here, and we'd like to include him, even though he's trying to take us back to the Stone Age."
Donald Trump has become the first U.S. president in history to be convicted of a crime. After an unprecedented trial, a jury of 12 of his Manhattan peers found that the 45th president deliberately falsified business records as part of a cover-up to influence the outcome of the 2016 election. So what did he do? Trump paid his former lawyer and fixer $130,000 in a series of payments to buy the silence of this woman, Stormy Daniels, who claims she had sex with Mr. Trump in a hotel suite in Nevada in 2006.
Jagger would also jab Trump on this front as well. At MetLife Stadium, where the New York Mets play their home games, Jagger quipped, "I was a bit worried about the weather tonight. I thought we were going to get a Stormy Daniels, but we're all right." And according to NJ.com, Jagger also noted earlier during a fan-voted song choice in their set, he'd say, quote, "There's a much bigger vote happening in November." Hey, I appreciate you watching. Now, if you can, please do become a channel member by going to youtube.com/TYT Sports and clicking the join button. If that's too much for you, you can just go to tyt.com/join to become a member. It helps all of us out here at the Young Turks and keeps our network afloat. In addition, you could follow me on my socials on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate the love. Have a great day.